Giga iOS is moving forward. We've got some more fantastic footage from Zangler, shot just before dawn, showing all the progress going on inside where we normally cannot see. We've got a lot to cover, from stamping presses to big meetings. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Well, if it's iWest time, it is Mark time. Mark from the Tesla Life joins me weekly to discuss this and so many other topics. Check him out. The Tesla Life is linked in the description. It's a great show. A lot of fun, a lot of information, and three really fun dudes. Sometimes with a special guest or two. That's also fun. Exactly. Hey, I don't know about you, but I've been having a massive subscriber purge. All the bots who have subscribed to me are being removed. If you think you're subscribed, double check, because every time this happens, I get viewers saying, "What the heck? I thought I was subscribed." You were. Remove extras. Just
for fun.
Yes, fun. Because you go in and look at individual videos to see, well, which ones are they unsubscribing from? None. No. So it just happens. I lost 291 in a single day.
Wow.
That's a deep purge, my friends. So if you think you subscribe, please double check. Hey, there's this guy named Zangler who is gracious enough to let us look at his footage. He lets us play his footage, but we don't, because we want you to head over there, subscribe to him, show him the love, get all this information earlier, and see what can be seen. Here's a video. You can like it, as I have. I can unlike it and re-like it. That's fun. And you can like this video, no charge.
Brian lets you do those type of things.
I just have love to give. Sometimes I scare myself. So what we've got here is, again, they're letting so much dark in.
Yeah, exactly. The dark skylights are in full action as the sun is down.
When we peek in, look at all that stuff. That is empty spools. What was on those spools, Mark?
Wiring.
And where is it now?
Wiring is typically put into the electrical system. That's typically where wiring goes.
So this is a bad thing, right? I forget. I thought this plant was going to be steam powered.
No catapults in this factory, as far as I know, but there's going to be a lot of electricity wiring.
So that's good. Empty spools is what I want to see. It means they're making progress. It means they're putting stuff in. And this here, if you look in here, you'll see two big white tents. Why would you put tents inside of a building?
Typically, that would be to prevent whatever's going on inside the tent to spreading to the air to outside the tent. So this could be paint, could it?
No, it's the paint shop. Zangler believes is farther down.
Okay.
This could be the opposite, not wanting what's in all the construction dust to get into, for example, workstations. So It could be that the temporary offices are in there. It could be that they've got prototypes in there they don't want us to see, and they don't feel like covering over all the windows like they've had to do in other factories.
Right. Yeah, and it's kind of interesting that this is right in front of the dock doors. So that's obviously a temporary enclosure, because you would not have those things close to the dock doors if the plant was in operation and you're receiving from rigs and having to unload and navigate around those things.
Agreed on all points. It's probably farther back than it looks, but who knows? Then we've got what looks like a Southern revival going on outside the tent. I think that's what it is. It could be... Boy, it could be that their Halloween party, they all came dressed as the same thing. How embarrassing. It could have been a themed Halloween party. We are Tesla construction workers. There's no way of knowing.
Yeah, there's no way. Exactly. But obviously a meeting of sorts.
Yes, a meeting in the morning before dawn. That is what you want to see, I suppose. What do you see in that window?
You're talking about the orange things in the middle window?
No, I'm talking about the thing with a wheel on the front of it that's roughly the size of a semi.
Ah, well, then that, of
Is that part
course,
of a semi?
could be part of a semi.
It could
Absolutely.
be.
Yeah.
It is tough to say from here. It looks like part of a semi. And I also see what looks like a dumpster, so maybe they're making a Cybertruck semi. I think that's right.
Don't spread that rumor.
It's great. Omar, with the whole drivable Cybercab conspiracy, decided to start posting pictures of Megapacks with steering wheels and Optimus with a steering wheel, because apparently that's what people want. People who think they know better than Tesla, better than Elon, better than Lars, better than the entire engineering team that built the Cybercab, they're telling lies that they think will give us comfort. Lies do not comfort me.
No.
The gist here is that in every window you look, you'll see progress. Skipping quite a bit in each jump here.
And what was also great with this video was that Zangler's drone didn't have the issues it had last time in a pre-dawn flight.
He managed to get his registration back up to date. Zangler hypothesized that these frames you see on the ground here could be for what you put the chassis on to run it through the line. Possible. I don't know if that's plausible. I don't know what those are. If you have an idea in the comments, let us know. So there's a lot there. There's a nice clean shot looking in. I mean, good stuff. Skipping forward, going back through the building, we see the tea party has ended and folks are going back to work. And you can see a lot of activity. This is a big walled off section here. Not sure what goes on in there. Lots of walls. A little bit going on there. Folks scurrying about. And we saw that's a pretty good sized construction crew.
Yeah. And this appears to be an actual second floor. This is not.
I can't tell.
Would you say that's second, or would you say that's just the angle?
I think it's just the angle.
Okay.
I don't believe there's a mezzanine here. I think we are looking down on them.
Okay.
As investors, we're looking down on them. I don't know if you saw, but on Monday, some pretty high trading figures. Can't speak to days later than that on account of the linear nature of time. Nothing going on with the mega charger.
No, that really hasn't progressed. Although they seem to be, they've got some cones out there. They're doing something. Is it just cordon off the section that's closer to the building?
I believe so. I believe so. And I think it would make little sense to electrify them now for the existing fleet if this is an active construction zone.
Yeah.
That's my take. Some peaks in on the other side. This Tesla semi appears to be in the process of loading or unloading. Zangler theorizes they may be just hauling out wood or pallets, but you never know.
Yeah, Burning Man starting shortly, so
that's probably got
to get the wood out there.
Almost definitely it. Is it? I don't know when that is. A look into the stamping pit. Now, a question I still have is, what are they stamping? Because the occupant home is carbon fiber. The cab has always been carbon fiber. Maybe that will be switched to stamped metal. The frame itself, I don't believe, could be stamped by a machine of this type. This is for, stamping panels. And I don't know what panels there are. The doors, I guess those could be metal. Any thoughts?
Yeah, certainly there's going to be some aluminum on the vehicle, and it could be part of the frame too. It could be components of the frame that is then put together at a later time. So, Yeah, but in big panels, not a lot except for possibly doors. Because yeah, you're right. Every time we've seen the semi to this point, it's been carbon fiber or fiberglass or some combination of to keep it light.
And what I would say to that is, uh, batteries have gotten lighter since this was designed, since it was first rolled out in terms of gravimetric energy density. Uh, but I would assume that they would want to dedicate all of those weight savings to additional cargo rather than um, eat them up by switching to metal in other parts if the cost works.
Yeah.
In this part of the place, we have got a concrete truck in there over in here, pouring some more concrete for the rest of the stamping area, I guess, or whatever
Yep.
part of the
It
factory
appears
this
there
is.
appears to be some pretty sizable holes on that side.
Yes. Those are just normal divots the way I golf. I don't golf, but if I did, rest assured. So that's about what we've got for Giga iWest. Yeah, maybe that's what the ramp is for, is to put the Burning Man up. Hadn't occurred to me before.
That still looks like a ramp to me. Like it looks like a perfect display ramp. It's got the rocks around it. It's got a flat surface up front. I don't know.
I really think you're right. And maybe it's hollowed out because they need to put a special, you know, bed there for it to be built upon. I don't know.
They got to keep the weight down at that corner of the factory because otherwise the whole thing just sinks. So they got to.
It'll just, yeah, it's definitely how it works.
You've seen that. You see, they've already used their allotment of rocks there, like on the lower part. So you gotta,
Right.
you gotta shave out any weight savings you can.
Any at all. Which means it's time to answer your questions, guys. Comments are mandatory this week because we're not getting many comments. It's with the algorithm shift over the summer, the channel is hurting. Oh, it's hurting. So every bit helps. Thank you. You can also, again, like the video. It doesn't cost a thing. The big three are moving ops, but not the brick and mortar. Maybe in Canada, it's a nice place to build see no Canuckian auto industry. Advantages: tariff-free Quebec aluminum, Ontario cobalt, cheap hydropower, better workers than the US without the risk of being iced out, and cars poised to invade the US when their auto industry collapses completely. Have you heard any rumors or theories about a Chinese, and again, forgive the colorful language, this is Energizer Squirrel, Energizer Squirrel, it's a good name, that is being colorful, not me. I'm pasty. I'm so pasty. Have you heard any rumors?
Oh, there's lots of rumors swirling about Chinese and deals being possibly struck or floated out there as to what the Canadian government wants in order to allow Chinese vehicles into Canada. And it's, if you go on YouTube, it's just all over the board. It's right from they're coming in tariff free and they're going to start selling from dedicated dealerships all the way down to nothing's going to change. It's still 100% tariff. So it's people speculating everywhere. The government has spoken to the Chinese. There's been some high level meetings. But we're hopefully going to learn a little bit more maybe when the budget's released in the next day or so. So it'd be interesting to see if the Canadian government makes any comment on budget day.
And if that is going to happen in the next day or two, you may see this video after that has been announced. Let us know in the comments what you found. But this question is about, would China build a factory in Canada?
Absolutely. That is a viable possibility because China does this everywhere else in the world. They're setting up shop in Mexico. They're setting up shop in Brazil, Thailand, I believe.
Brazil, yes.
So this is nothing for the Chinese because they're expanding their marketplace and they realize that in some cases you have to spread some of the wealth out in order to gain new markets. And that's what building a factory in another country does for them.
Yes. So it's possible. And if Canada starts making EVs for a Chinese brand and the tariff situation normalizes with the US, it's very possible that those could come to the US in a matter of years. That's what is happening in Europe. BYD's Thailand-built cars are being imported with preferential trade treatment. Comment says, I want to say something. Okay, I dressed up as a screwdriver this year for Halloween. It wasn't the best costume, but it turned a lot of heads.
Oh my goodness. That would, yes, indeed. That's good effort.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll allow it, obviously. I didn't have to read it. iWest is nearing completion. Where will I East be built and when? See.
I don't think there is going to be an I East in North America.
Well, not in North America, but if you go far enough east, could they build it in Berlin?
They could.
I would not be surprised to see a year or two from now a expansion in Berlin to build semi trucks at I East. Mm-hmm. Is China secretly celebrating while protesting in public the EV tariffs? Aren't the tariffs prolonging the U.S. dependence on fossil fuel?
That's an excellent point, and it's true as far as I can see. If there are tariffs in place, it is going to allow the American market to remain virtually the same. And with this discussion of eliminating EV from the mix, or at least dampening it, the US gets to continue to build ICE engines, and they're not going to research or push out a second and third generation of EVs, which allows them to get better. So you're right. It's going to be a little bit of shift to neutral.
I'm in agreement. I'm also in agreement with RC DIY saying that this will allow other countries to continue moving forward while the US stands still. And it's going to be painful in 5 or 10 years. It's already a bit painful. A lot of those countries are already accelerating. They're already choosing not to buy U.S. branded automobiles, certainly U.S. built automobiles. Our exports have been historically quite good. This is unfortunate. Why couldn't Ontario export to other countries? So the cars being made in Ontario that are at risk, the factories at risk of being closed down, why can't they just shift to export?
Well, you can do some exporting, but keep in mind that Ontario is making, Hondas, Toyotas, and a lot of Ford, GM, and Stellantis vehicles. So the three aforementioned at the end, the big three, as they put it, really the only export market is the United States. That's it. So there's a tariff on that. There will continue, it looks like it will continue to be there, and therefore it's not financially viable for them to do that. The other factories, yes, if it's in the plans for Honda and Toyota, they can definitely ship them elsewhere if there's a deal with those countries. And Canada has many deals with other countries as well. Europe became another one of them just a little while ago. But also keep in mind that Honda and Toyota are also in Europe. So there is the question of, do you send something by ship to a country that already has a factory? Doesn't make a lot of sense financially there either. So Ontario would have to find new export markets that are not already being used by the current automakers that are in place.
So what I hear you saying is these factories that were built to service the North American market, and the largest country in the North American market no longer wants them. Who else would buy them? We don't know. Probably no one.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Because American vehicles, as you mentioned already, are not competitive in the world market. Exports have been going down outside of North America for quite some time.
Yeah. Disappointing. Okay.
And it might be interesting to mention here that part of that reason is because they're not advancing. Mm-hmm. So if you then turn around and say, let's all shift to neutral. Let's not develop anymore. Let's just keep with the ICE engines that are profitable for us now. Guess what? You're going to make a bad situation worse.
Mm-hmm. So this one, I won't read the whole thing, but if Grok is allowed to say, I don't know, rather than hallucinate to provide an answer, he probably doesn't just answer everything in less than 1 second. How can it know that it's a good answer? My response to that was, when you look something up on Grok on your computer, it'll start crunching it and it'll show you what it's thinking about. And there's an option to just get a quick answer. In the car, no such option. It just gives you quick answers because you can't take your eyes off the road to acknowledge that it's thinking. So I think you just get the quick answer, unfortunately. Thoughts?
That appears to be the case. Quick answers only, and no option to get anything else. So, and again, this is really version 1 when it comes to input into the car. This may change over time, but right now, that's all you're getting.
Mm-hmm. All true. Guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What do we misunderstand? You know what you're doing. All the things, presumably. Head over to the TSLA, find out what Mark is up to. Everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the Flippity Flop.